Thank you to Chris, thank you to Jeff, thank you to all of you. The inspiration and the ideas here are energizing and empowering, and it is really a privilege to be here. And yet, I know I'm very cognizant of going back to school and realizing that the innovation, the inspiration, the ideas are necessary, but in and of themselves insufficient to bring to life the dreams we all have for education. For that, we need support, and the support of our PLNs, our professional learning networks, has been spoken about much, and I'll touch on that as well, but I'm talking today primarily about systematic, sustained, ongoing, job-embedded support in the places where we work, teach, lead, and learn. And I invite you to consider ways that you can put on the coaching hat and use techniques from coaching to support those in your schools and in your places of learning to make their goals come true, to realize our dreams for education. I am lower school principal at Schechter, Westchester. Two of our awesome teachers are here today. And we are a Jewish day school and the largest independent school in Westchester County, New York. We're a school of excellence, we're a school of vision. We're several years into a serious strategic plan to think about preparing our students for the rapidly changing future they are inheriting, while at the same time grounding them in enduring, eternal core values. And we've realized, as some of you may have as well, that the supports we've had in place up to now, which are good and are valuable and are meaningful, are insufficient to meet the higher goals we've set for ourselves. Here's where the PLN comes in. We are not alone in looking at coaching as a focused way to help educators meet the dreams they have for themselves, and to bring project-based, passion-based style learning into professional learning. I am part of a Twitter community EduCoach that I co-moderate with two fantastic educators from different parts of the country, Kathy Perrette, at Kathy Perrette, who is an instructional coach in Iowa, and Jessica Johnson at Principal J, a fantastic elementary school principal in rural Wisconsin. And we meet every Wednesday night at 10. You're welcome to join us tonight and any Wednesday night with administrators, instructional coaches, and most poignantly teachers, talking about professional learning that works, talking about what has worked, building on successes, celebrating successes, and talking about ways that we can improve our professional learning. In order to think seriously about whether including coaching in your programs will work for you, it is helpful to think about 6 very easy to remember essential questions. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. Who in your schools might be able to coach? Shift job descriptions in order to take on coaching components. This can be anybody. While pure instructional coaching is a full-time professional developer, it need not be. Teachers can coach, administrators can coach, district leaders can coach, specialists, media specialists, technology specialists can coach. So the first step is to think about job descriptions and who might take on coaching. That will require shifting jobs and either realigning who does what, or more boldly eliminating things that don't have a profound impact on student learning in order to focus on coaching. It's also, especially at the beginning, important to focus on who can coach or train the coaches. And that can be done internally, or you can bring in outside support. What is instructional coaching? Instructional coaching is serious, sustained, systemic, job-embedded support that builds on educators' strengths. It involves a range of components that can be eclectically applied in your own setting as makes sense for you, and it's important to think about how coaching might work in your own setting, but it includes a range of very specific steps. Goal setting with the educator. These are either an educator's own goals or personalizing and making relevant and reframing goals set by a school or a district. Setting an action plan. The action plan may include steps that the educator already knows how to do and decides to do, or it may include professional learning. The professional learning might be provided by the coach or might be provided in a whole wide range of other ways. Very important, offering feedback. We very infrequently in our jobs get timely, specific non-judgmental feedback. So feedback is a real key component and one of the distinguishing marks of coaching from other forms of professional learning and what makes it so impactful. Monitoring progress, celebrating detours along the road, helping teachers regroup when they hit an obstacle or a dead end, and very important, celebrating successes. Where does instructional coaching happen? It happens where you work. It is job embedded. It happens, we need to open up our classrooms, we need to open up our places of learning, and we need to invite somebody in, trust somebody to come in and to help us be better. Instructional coaching is not remediation. It is to help great teachers become even greater. Athletes know that coaching is important and teachers deserve coaching as well. Our students deserve for our teachers to have serious coaching. It does require, because it happens where you work, it does require rethinking job definitions, and that takes some creativity, but with collaboration, it certainly can be done, and there are lots of people to help think about how this might work. When does instructional coaching happen? It happens during the school day. Our budgets we can look at as our educational plan in numbers, and our schedules we can look at as our educational plan in time. And as we reach closer and closer to the images of education we believe in, we will get there by spending our time wisely. And if we believe that teachers deserve serious support in order to meet the high expectations we have for ourselves, devoting time and rethinking schedules is really vital. Why should you do this with all of the other things we need to do? If coaching ever becomes just another thing, then it's not effective and should be abandoned. If coaching can be a foundational component in the things that matter most, giving targeted feedback and support to stretch ourselves out of our comfort zones, to teach in ways we haven't taught before, to build on strengths and become better, then it is compelling. And it's important with specificity to answer why for your own school or educational setting before embarking upon coaching. Implemented well, coaching can be transformative. Implemented poorly, it is just another thing that can frustrate everybody. How do you do this? Answer the first 5 questions with specificity and thoughtfulness and depth. And doing that will give you the roadmap and give you the insight as to whether coaching will work for you. Components of coaching, small pieces, or much larger pieces. There are resources to help you, and just to start you off, a few easy-to-access ones are the EduCoach Wikispaces site. You can add your own resources there as well, instructionalcoachchat.wikispaces.com. If you don't yet know Jerry Blumengarten at CyberryMan1 on Twitter, he is an awesome resource. And his instructional coaching page is extraordinary. So cyberryman.com/coaching.html, and you will find there resources on many other things of interest as well. And Jim Knight's site, the Kansas Coaching Project, instructionalcoach.org. Jim Knight's books, Instructional Coaching and Unmistakable Impact, are also really valuable places to start. And finally, I'd like to just leave you with wisdom in fewer than 140 characters, and to remind us that while much is new and much is changing on the educational landscape, we stand on the shoulders of giants, and there has been greatness in teaching and greatness in learning for generations. So I want to bring you back before the 21st century, before even the 20th century, before the Industrial Revolution, before even this millennium, to more than a century before that, when thinking and learning and helping each other and coaching was alive and well, and we can learn from, and I'm sure that it goes back even further, and introduce you to a thinker that my Jewish educator colleagues here will quickly recognize, Yehoshua ben Prachya, approximately 120 BCE, who said, provide yourself with a teacher, a coach, somebody who cares deeply and is committed to your learning specifically, not a whole class, but you. Get yourself a student companion, a peer student, a peer coach, in whom you and that person are invested in each other, not in general, but very specifically, focused on your specific and his or her specific learning needs. And judge all people favorably. Build on success, look at strength, recognize and celebrate strength, and build from there. So I leave you with 2 wishes as we begin the academic year. I wish for you inspiration, and I wish for you support. Thank you.